to know what your inspiration was for this series and to center it in the Los Angeles area, Compton. Just what made you start there?
Yeah. Well, the Compton piece of it was a wow I never knew factor. I thought I knew a lot about Los Angeles until I really dug in and looked at the city and read a ton of books. And when I realized here was this place that I think occupies a very iconically Black place in the public's imagination, musically, pop culturally, culturally. So when I was reading and researching and realized, well, wait, not only is that not true, but 60, 70 years ago, it was lily white. And not only was that not true, but like in East Compton, those folks were super protective of their whiteness and of the block. That for me was just a light bulb. I realized that that was the only place we could put it. As for what inspired it, I think it's the times. I mean, I started writing this a few years back. Every morning I was waking up and looking at the news like we do, or Instagram, and I'm just seeing video after video of Black folks being terrorized in some way, either by the police or threatened with the police. And it just got me thinking a lot about my own experiences with that kind of terror, and the kind of terror that is stretched back through time to the very beginning of this country. So I wanted to explore that.
So, in crafting your story, why did you pick North Carolina as their starting point? What significance is that to the characters as you move through into the story?
The significance of it, there was many places where I wanted to put it. I don't know. North Carolina just sort of came right to the fore, and Chatham County in particular just came right to the fore in my research of that time. It was an interesting place. And so I from the beginning, that was the only home for them to have come from. Yeah.
So, as far as crafting horror, we've seen several over the past few years. And on first look, some might compare this to some of the others that are out there. But obviously, once you get into it, there are some differences. For you, what would you say to the audience that is making that comparison without even seeing?
Without watching the show?
Yeah.
I'd say watch the show first. I would also say hop off Twitter. That's why I'm not on Twitter, because I don't want to get involved in that. I think what I would say to those people, to people who would be, who are hell bent on making that comparison before they see it, my hope is that there is a day where there is so many of us playing in this field that they don't have to compare the 2 or 3 things that have come out over the last 4 years against one another. I think every day about 1,000 things that center white people come out every day. They're interchangeable in my mind, and those kinds of comparisons are never made. And so my hope is, in just the same way that Lena kind of kicked the door open for me, I'd like to be able to do that for a next wave, because there are so many Black filmmakers and storytellers who love this genre and just need that shot. And if the playground is filled with us, then they can't be making those comparisons anymore, right? So that's the hope.
So each character has a little bit of their own story that obviously blend in together. For you, which one was your favorite story to explore?
Oh, that's like picking your favorite child. Favorite is very tough. I don't think I can pick a favorite, but what I can say is there is an experience within Henry's experience that I very much relate to. I worked in corporate America for many years before I decided to finally commit to being a writer. And I don't know if you've seen the show or you've seen a couple episodes. So you see the episode where he goes into the bathroom and he shoves paper towel to stop himself from screaming. Have I done that in my life? No. Have I wanted to? Yes. Like, absolutely. I know the experience of being one of the only Black faces navigating what are mainly white corporate spaces. And it's an interesting place to be. So I'd say his storyline I can really relate to. Yeah.
So let's talk about your cast. How did you relate to them? They are amazing. Little Melody, my God. Talk to me about them in those roles and how they work together and what it was like working for them.
I mean, you have like a dream when you're writing it. You have a dream of who you think your cast, the perfect cast, and then suddenly these actors walk in, and they are so much better than anything you could have dreamed. From day one, Deborah just bodied this role. I mean, she just came at it ferociously. She was so committed. And it was almost like watching an athlete in training. Like, she was just like primed every single day. And that's a hard thing to do. This character, and not only the whole family, goes through the emotional ringer, and they each showed up in that way. Ashley the same, Shahadi, who has this, I could cry thinking about Shadi because she just has this ability with absolute silence to telegraph so much emotion and to make you feel such heartbreak without even saying words, which is fantastic for a writer. It means I get to write less because you just put the camera on Shahadi and it'll do it. And little Melody is just, I can't say enough about Melody. She is everything you think that she is. She's coming off set and doing TikTok dances. Like, she's just like the best. I'm in love with those four actors, and yeah, can't say enough about them.